everyone.
Hello! Thanks for joining us today. I'm Katie Zachary, mortgage advisor, and this is
Jackie Vaughn, real estate strategist.
And Jackie, I have a lot of questions for you today.
I'm ready for you.
Excellent. Today is all about the expenses relating to selling your home.
Right.
So I always think, yay, we'll sell our house, we'll make some money, we'll buy another house, but there are always things to consider.
Definitely. You really want to be in a good financial position, especially because you have another plan that you're going to. But I would say the first step or first expense to consider is getting your house ready for the market. So that is, are there any deferred maintenance that needs to be taken care of?
Mm-hmm.
We want to clean the house and make it look very shiny and beautiful. So that process of decluttering, cleaning, we call that staging.
Okay.
And so many people opt to hire a stager who will assist through that process to get things just right. So it's not necessarily furniture rental, it could also be the process of getting your house ready.
Oh, I see. So if you maybe decided to follow Marie Kondo, get rid of stuff, that would be a good time.
That's one of my favorite books.
One of mine too.
Does this item give you joy?
Yes. See, we're staying relevant, world.
Yes. But if you have an item that gives you joy and it's odd, you really don't want it in your house because people will be looking at that item instead of your beautiful bay windows. So
that's such a good point.
Yeah. So even if that item brings you joy, we don't want anything that's going to draw away from the actual house.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of other expenses might a seller have to be, I almost said concerned about, but consider?
Yeah, so if you do opt to hire a realtor, there are realtor commissions on both sides. So what that means is the seller typically pays the selling agent and the buyer's agent. The big advantage, or one of the advantage of the selling agent, or I should say the seller's agent, is that they may cover some of your marketing costs. So once you get that house looking shiny and wonderful, you definitely want to take advantage of professional photography. So, I personally eat that cost as a realtor because houses are sold online. So having those beautiful professional pictures do make a big difference. But if you aren't hiring an agent and decide to sell your house yourself, you definitely want to pay for a professional photographer.
That's really good advice, and I would say that's true. I'm not planning on moving anywhere, and I still look at houses online all the time. And when we were trying to make that decision, there were houses we wouldn't go see just based on those pictures. And I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate.
Yeah.
So when a house actually goes under contract, I know there's some concessions and things we need to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of people, the buyer wants the seller to pay some closing costs, and if it's not required, the seller can decide whether they want to assist the purchaser with closing costs or home warranty or things like that. So you definitely want to negotiate. You also want to consider the price point of the house. If it's more of a first-time home buyer price point, then that purchaser may need closing costs to make the deal work. So if your goal is to move to Florida in a few months and you have this contract, it may make sense to pay $2,000 or $1,000 in a seller concession so that you can move on to your next goal.
That's really good thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, I think there are a couple of other things that they have to consider as well. Some things that we sometimes disclose on a loan estimate that end up falling on the seller.
Mm-hmm. So in Virginia, where we are, the seller is responsible for providing a certificate that the home is termite free, because it's very common, and also information about the well and septic, depending on the loan. Not all, but some may require some information in that area. And even before you get to that point, a buyer will likely have a home inspection, and that home inspection may ask for you to do some repairs. Now again, many of those repairs are optional if you decide to do it, but if once the house is appraised, the appraisal may be conditioned may have conditions that repairs are done if they have like a government financing program like FHA or VHDA. There may be a condition to the appraisal.
We'll do another program all about the requirements for homes for certain loans. I think that made sense.
Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful information to get you started. We would be happy, Katie would be happy to talk to you about the next step. Like if you are going somewhere, what you'd like to do with that.
Absolutely. So I guess I would add that when you are thinking about how much you as a seller can offer as concessions to a buyer, we know you want your house sold. You also need to be able to move. So take into account not just how much you need for a down payment on your next home, but also think about, are you going to need to hire movers? Are you going to need to hire a storage company to house your things in between moving out and moving in? And those are all things to be mindful of. And I guess we'll go into detail a little later about what different loans will allow you to give to buyers.
Stay tuned for our loan video with more
Dun, dun,
details.
dun.
Interesting stuff. Not really, but things that you want to know going into this process so that you're armed with the right information.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jackie, for sharing your expertise.
I really appreciate having you.
Absolutely. See you all later.
Bye.